Men. What do they want? Money? Status? Fast, expensive cars? What is the ultimate male fantasy? Is it fame? Fortune? 3 hot chicks at once? Haha, hell yeah, brother. No, according to men on the internet,
I'll tell you what men want. We want cold beers and blowjobs. That's it. If our chick would bring us a cold beer and blow us every time, we were feeling a little sad, then life would be better. So ladies, remember that. Next time your man's feeling a little down, bring him a cold beer and blow him.
it's something a little more simple. This is literally just a fetish. I fucking hate men so much. Men are why we can't have nice things. As I was working on an upcoming video, I made the terrible mistake of logging onto Twitter, where I saw this post. A montage from the anime Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, a movie about a college student who is assigned to take care of a paraplegic girl, and spoiler, eventually they fall in love. Many men were yearn posting in the replies of this tweet and talking about how they wish to fall in love and would love a relationship like this.
Yeah, bro, that's pretty weird. I don't know why you'd want to fuck a paraplegic girl, dude. I feel like you could cause some real damage without even trying. That's a strange fantasy. I don't really get that, bro. I think cold beers and blowjobs. If I ever run for president, that's what I'm gonna campaign for.
While many others, mostly women, were absolutely f***ing disgusted at this. Why would a bunch of men be fantasizing about being with a woman in a wheelchair? Seems pretty creepy and predatory, right? Also just unrealistic and problematic. Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about why so many men resonated to that clip and this movie, and why so many people are so confused as—
Let's be real about it. Most men are little bitches and they're weak, and so they want an even weaker woman so that they can, push her around, literally, in a wheelchair. That's what it comes down to. And it's this fantasy of an easier life. No, motherfucker, life was always gonna be shit, Your girl's gonna be a headache. She's gonna make you want to pull your hair out. Your hair is actually probably gonna fall out because of her. She's gonna make you ugly. It is what it is. That's life. That's marriage. Happy wife, happy life.
to why. We are also going to be reading some absolutely unhinged tweets, as usual, to get to the bottom of why such a wholesome post turned into, once again, another battlefront for the ongoing, never-ending gender war. Men versus women, women versus men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, the dealing with dating apps. Do men prefer thin women or curvy women? Brunette?
Who gives a shit, bro? Why do we even have this conversation? Why does the gender war even exist? All this shit is retarded. Let's be real about it. All you guys are corny weirdos that just want to make each other's lives harder. Go fuck yourself. Oh my god. This shit is so stupid.
Brunettes or blondes? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean shaven?
Do they like little tiny dicks or huge black dicks?
Now let's get back to the video. Now, I am not an anime connoisseur. In fact, I basically know nothing about anime. I am probably the most tourist of all the tourists. Yeah, hi. I have a question. Was the upskirt shot necessary in order to advance the plot? I watched Pokemon and Sailor Moon when I was a kid, and a few years ago I watched Beastars on Netflix. Legoshi, best boy. Not a furry, by the way. And honestly, that's about it for my anime consumption. Unless you're counting VTubers. If you're counting VTubers, I watch a lot of anime. But because of this clip going viral, I watched Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, and, well, I thought it was a good movie. I recommend watching it. I thought it was a really cute, good story. I only cried a little bit. And I completely understood what the tweet meant by calling it the average male fantasy. So, what was wrong with it? Why did this clip go so viral in such a negative way? Why were thousands of people angry at this post? Well, let us deal—
I'll tell you why people are mad about it, okay? It's very simple. It's because women hate men because they're weaker than us. The fact that men want a girl in a wheelchair makes them feel terrible because they're not that weak, they're not in a fucking wheelchair, and they're not really willing to cripple themselves for a guy. That's what it comes down to if you really think about it.
dilly-dally no longer and read some of these angry replies to get a better understanding of what the issue is, shall we? Wholesome male fantasy, and it's fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control. Oh no. They think, oh god, why? Always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. Pretty perverted. Where are these fan fictions coming from? There were like hundreds of tweets just like this. Why did they see a cute montage of a happy couple, a man and a woman happy, together? I know, unheard of.
It's because that's not how it's supposed to be. The woman's supposed to be yapping your fucking ear off, making you depressed, making you want to blow your brains out, and you're supposed to try to make her happy, you know, so that maybe one day you'll be a little bit happy, but it'll never come because women are ungrateful.
Why do they see that and then immediately come to these conclusions? Like, as someone who actually watched the movie, Josie is not always happy. And she's absolutely not portrayed as some, like, vulnerable, ooh-woo, sex doll waifu. She's boisterous, she kind of has a foul mouth, she's very sassy and headstrong, she like straight up calls him her servant, but she was also very depressed. She basically never left her house, she was basically a girl failure. As a former girl failure, I love to see representation in media. But they actually show her disability, like, not in a good way. Like, they don't romanticize it, they don't sugarcoat it. And I noticed, unlike a lot of movies, unlike a lot of romance movies, at least like the Hallmark kind, where it's like the stuffy male lead learning to live life from the quirky, cute female lead, he's already got his shit together. And she learns to live life from him. He encourages her to live her dreams, and in return, he learns to live life in a completely different way. And I thought that was really cool and sweet. Also, the animation was really good. Is anime good? Have I been sleeping on anime this entire time? His fantasy is that she becomes permanently disabled and helplessly dependent on him, but can still make him a sandwich. Sounds about right. Oh my god, after
Yes, exactly. That's what we want. Shut up. Be a robot. Make me a fucking sandwich, robot.
watching the movie, these tweets are even more insane. But even putting the movie aside, just seeing that like cute montage out of context, where the fuck are they getting this? These are very clearly just two happy people. But because the caption was the average male fantasy, their mind immediately goes to the darkest, worst faith interpretation of this. The problem is these people can't see any humanity in men. They can't see any humanity in humanity in general. Average male fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's completely physically dependent on you and forced into blanket subservience and compliance. Sounds about right. You males are weird for fetishizing physically disabled women. Average male fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want. Got it. Not to be
It's pretty funny, man. These people will also make the argument, like, if you don't want to fuck a tranny, then you're transphobic and you like, hate gay people or something somehow. I don't understand how all that works. I'm just the messenger. I don't understand why they're spreading that message. But, you know, if you end up falling in love with a disabled girl, that's wrong of you because I don't know why. I guess disabled girls don't deserve love. They should just cry alone in their bed in their wheelchair by themselves at 3 a.m. until they fucking slit their wrist. That's what these bitches want. You guys are evil.
that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. The infantilization of the physically disabled here is a little, dare I say, ableist. The implication here that people in wheelchairs cannot find love, and if they do, the person who loves them literally just loves them because they can't run away. Weird. Average men can't even be nice to their healthy and normal girlfriend. What makes you think they'll be able to handle a disabled person as their lover? Whoa. Normal? What do you mean by normal? These people are just
True, it is normal to have legs.
so ableist, chat. Can you believe it? Chat? I don't even live stream. Who's chat? I'm disabled, blind, so I showed this to my boyfriend. He says, I love you because you're you, and you make my days happier. So what if I have to drive you places or help you with cooking and cleaning? I would have done that anyway. Disability has nothing to do with it. I love you. Ma'am, I don't know how to tell you this, but, your boyfriend is a rapist. Sorry you had to find out this way. You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority of men who participate in abuse of disabled people. No, the fantasy is the woman appreciates his efforts to make her happy. Stop lying and abusing women and the disabled. Your meds, schizo. You don't even know that f***ing guy. What do you mean stop abusing women and the disabled? Bitch, who are are you? Also, the majority of men participate in abuse of disabled people. Are you okay? The majority of men are not abusers. That is a very, very small minority of men. The majority of men are men that just wake up, take a shit.
I mean, yeah, facts, dude. I don't abuse women. I just fucking abuse my body with alcohol poisoning. That's what I'm about, bro. Yeah, no women abuse here. Just my body abuse. I'm an alcoholic, and I can't stop drinking. It's awesome.
Get out of bed, take a shower, go to work, come home, and wait for GTA 6 to come out. That is the majority of men. Men commit 95% of all rape, but okay. Barging into the romance section of Barnes & Noble like, attention everyone! Rape! Where is that coming from? So close, this is fetish content. Ah yes, the dirtiest, most taboo of all fetishes. A happy relationship. Honestly, in 2025, that might be true. Oh, you want a wife and kids? You sick fuck. But this is literally just a perverted fantasy, LMAO. You think it's a perverted fantasy because... How do I put this nicely? You are a pervert. Literally seeing a cute montage of a male and female character having fun together, being in love together, and being like, rape! He's a rapist! This is a fetish! Are these people okay? Stop watching porn. Wait, this is a woman. Okay, stop reading Taken by the Werewolf Billionaire. Or whatever the fuck you read. I swear to God, some of the shit women read would make the most depraved internet gooner blush. Or so I've been told.
It's funny how women be like mad on Twitter like this, and their biggest fantasy is getting abused by a werewolf and getting thrown around and stuff. It's kind of fucked up. I don't understand you women. You guys are fucking weirdos.
This is literally just a fetish. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna pretend there's nobody out there who's like, she can't run away, she has no legs. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend there's nobody out there who has a crippled, disabled fetish, okay? I've been on the internet for 20 years. I've been on DeviantArt. I've seen shit you wouldn't believe. But the majority of people, probably most, if not all the people responding to this, do not have a cripple fetish, okay? In fact, her being in a wheelchair basically has nothing to do with it. Much like how females coom over, like, vampires or, like I said before, the billionaire werewolf fantasy. This is just the average male fantasy distilled down to its most extreme. So what is the average male fantasy? The average male fantasy is the fantasy of both men and women alike. It is simply to love and to be loved. But more specifically, the male fantasy is to be a protector and a provider for those that they love. Put a pin in this because we are going to come back to this in a big way, trust me. The average male fantasy is being a globally known terrorist. The average male fantasy is that a woman who isn't fat. The average male fantasy is actually job security. You know what? These guys may have a point here. Pedophile alert. Men want disabled child wives. Average male fantasy is a disabled child. More proof that men are pedos. That's a little girl. This is weird. So, first of all, she's literally older than the guy. The guy is 22 and she is 24. In anime years, he is practically hag maxing. And yes,
I mean, yeah, bro, Asian people look young. It is what it is. You know, you see some of these Asian guys, they look 14 years old, bro, but they're not. They're 35, dude. And same with these chicks. It's kind of weird, I know, but nothing weird's going on there other than she's disabled and she can't run away. No, but seriously, these people make you want to just troll so fucking hard because of how ridiculous they are. That's really what this whole video is for me. Maybe I should start being a little more serious. But yeah, men just want to be with somebody that appreciates them and doesn't make them want to blow their brains out. That's about it. That pretty much sums it up as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, and women want somebody who will, I don't know, who will beat the shit out of them, I think, or something like that, because they never leave when you beat the shit out of them. I don't get it. I don't get that. You know, if a woman hit me, I would be out in a second, bro.
she may be physically disabled, but aren't all men mentally disabled in their own special way? At least the ones in my audience. They will freely admit this. Maybe she, the older woman, is taking advantage of this sensitive young man. Have you ever thought of that? She looks like an 11-year-old child. Where are her breasts? First of all, really weird way to say that. She looks like a child. Show me her titties. Also, I love how, like, when anime women have huge boobs, it's disgusting, Coomer brain or whatever. But if the anime woman has small boobs, she is a child and you're a chimo. Can't fucking win. Also, if she had big boobs, they'd absolutely be like, wow, look at this sexualization of the disabled. Also, you know, like, adult women can be flat-chested, right? Like, that actually exists in real life. Like, adult human women can have small boobs. We love all titties here on the Shoe on Head channel. All titties is good titties. End of story. Women fantasy. A boyfriend with depth and the loving, soft, deeply caring side of them. Men's fantasy. 12-year-old anime girl who looks and speaks like a toddler. Also notice how she's literally the shape and size of a child. Yuck. Have you people ever seen a child? No, you're all childless. Silly me. She's not even that short. She's just sitting. See, like when they're laying side by side, she's like a full-grown adult woman. Why do these people look at this and immediately think of child rape? Go to therapy. And listen, I know with anime it can get a little weird, right? Like, excuse me, Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan is 2,000 years old and this is Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan. But this does not even look like a child. This looks like a cute woman. This is like a random rant, but I feel like there are no more cute women nowadays. You know what I mean? You have all like the Insta baddies, the e-thoughts, the e-girls, the muscle mommies, the boss babes, the boy babes. But I feel like every woman is just hot now. Which, by the way, I don't think is healthy for the male psyche whatsoever. You shouldn't wake up and be able to scroll through pictures of, like, the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life, like, 20 times.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't use Instagram like that anyway, bro. That's bad for your fucking brain. Also, all that shit's fake, for sure. Because in my younger years, I was more like, I would look at that shit, and it warps your fucking perception of everything. And it's not good for you. And also, that's all fake. Those women don't look like that in person, bro. It's edited with Photoshop to make them look better, and yeah, it's just terrible for your mind. And nowadays, a lot of it is AI as well. It's not only Photoshop editing, it's fucking AI making the perfect person. It's ridiculous. The internet's fucking cooked at this point, my guy. Holy fuck.
Before you've had like your morning cup of coffee, you shouldn't log in and immediately be one-shotted by 1010s all day, as if that wouldn't make you go insane, as if that wouldn't make you crash out. Like back in the day, you'd probably see like one fine dame on your bus ride to work, and you'd think about her for 40 years until the day you die. That's how it used to be. That's how it should be. Now every woman is like a crazy, hot, unobtainable Instagram goddess with the fattest of ass. Zoomers don't know how good we had it. You'd go to Blockbuster and the 21-year-old cashier behind the counter would be the most adorable woman you've ever seen. No Botox, no lip filler, just a pure soul, full of joy and whimsy. And now women are full of hate.
Yeah, facts, and let's talk about that. I don't even like all this fake ass and fake lips and all that shit. These people look weird. They don't look human anymore. They look like something else. I don't know what you would call them, but it's not even attractive, man. Like, why do people like that shit? I kind of used to like it, but not fully. Nowadays, I see that and I'm just like kind of grossed out. I'm like, ew, get away, you herpes-infested demon. Get the fuck away from me. And look, I'm not a rich guy either, so like, I don't even have to worry about those hoes, but fuck, dude, if I ever am, that's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna have to like beat some bitches with Botox, and then they're gonna want me because I beat them, dude. Fucking hell, women are weird, huh?
And SSRIs, but they're hot. They're hotter than they've ever been. They're hotter and more depressed than they've ever been in history. Sad. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, anime. I didn't take my Vyvanse today, could you tell? Men's fantasy. A big titty woman with the face of a 16-year-old that is useful for cooking, cleaning, and sex. Women's fantasy. Gets treated like a queen and a man who keeps tracks of our periods so he can take care of us. I think I speak for a lot of women here when I say our fantasies do not, in fact, include men tracking our periods. Personally, if my husband was like, honey, just a reminder you're in your luteal phase, I'm taking the kids. Men like to pretend they want this, and then they beat their wife when dinner isn't ready or their son when he's misbehaving. First of all, I'm sorry that happened to you. But there are in fact good men out there. I've seen them. Some may be in this very audience. Sorry, I couldn't keep...
No, every dude on the internet is a depraved psychopath. Let's be real about it, alright? I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit for you guys. All you guys are fucking weirdos and psychos, dude. I mean, yeah, bro, you're probably gooning to the weirdest shit. You fucking weirdos. Weirdos. Jesus. What is wrong with you guys?
Keep a straight face. This is the Shoe on Head audience. You're all gremlins. Male fantasy equals a woman that can't run away from him. A woman that's dependent on him. Interesting. When men are involved, it's basic survival instinct to assume the worst. Men are guilty until they prove themselves innocent. You know what? I take my opinions back on free speech. I changed my mind. No more free speech. No more free speech until you bitches learn to behave. A woman's fantasy is a man who won't rape her, and a man's fantasy is raping a woman.
No, that's inverted. A woman's fantasy is a man who will rape her, but that is also attractive, you know? So it's not really rape, but it kind of is at the same time because he's forcing himself on you. But he has to be like 6'5" and have blue eyes and have a trust fund or something. How does that meme go? And the man's fantasy is to have a woman who appreciates him. Wow, that's pretty amazing.
I'm sorry, where is the rape, ma'am? Maybe that's how you see it, because you're brainwashed to hate men. So true. I hate how... But in reality, women are the real demons here. Oh, god damn it. We just
Exactly. Based.
want a happy relationship. Is it so much to ask for? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh look, more misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men. This is why 70% of anime is garbage. So here's the thing, that misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men was actually written by Saiko Tanabe, a woman. A woman wrote this story. And I feel like a very important detail everyone is sleeping on when they covered this was the fact that this is very much the female fantasy as well. A man loving you for who you are despite your flaws, literally sweeping you off your feet and carrying you around on adventures, helping you live out your dreams, face your fears, and supporting you through the good and bad times. You're going to
Yeah, I mean, facts. It is funny how they take like a wholesome story. This isn't even a weird anime from what it seems. I don't know. I've never seen it, but and make it something it's not. Make it fucking weird and depraved and disgusting, and it's a male rape fantasy somehow about raping children. I don't know how the fuck all this how they came up with this shit, bro. But you know, it is what it is. We don't deserve nice stories anymore, guys. I think
to sit here and tell me that's not the female fantasy too? Is this not the basic female fantasy? Is this not the knight in shining armor coming to rescue you and falling in love with you? Why on earth are so many women so mad at this? Are men now the hopeless romantics? Are men now the ones yearning for a fairy tale romance? Is this why all the Disney remakes are like, she's not gonna be saved by the prince, she's a strong, independent woman? Meanwhile, men still want to be the prince, men still want to be the knight in shining armor. Men are like, I will save you from your monotonous 9-to-5 job. I will give you a house and babies. And women are like, no, I must be an actuarial consultant. Be gone, vile misogynist. Is that what is occurring here? Also, that aside, there literally is a gender-swapped version of this story called Perfect World. It is a manga. Mango? I don't know. Do not come for me, weebs. Men will statistically leave their wives and partners the moment they find out they're disabled or have a life-threatening condition. You're right, it is a fantasy.
it's funny how they just take Fresh and Fit talking points and reverse it. I don't know what the fuck that's come from, man. I think the internet's just been terrible for people, but I'm still here for the internet because I'm a fucking weird, edgy kid still at my core. That's why I enjoy doing this stuff. It really has cooked everybody's perceptions, and it makes it a lot harder to find like a good relationship, you know? It makes it near impossible because everybody's always looking for the next thing, somebody better, blah blah blah. You know, it's all cooked. We don't deserve nice things as a society anymore. Let's be real about it.
Actually, that study was debunked by the authors themselves, who admitted they did the math wrong. It's actually not much higher, but then again, even if it was, and it happens, I've seen it happen to people, it's terrible. Marriage should be through sickness and through health. But that's not really the point here. And the fact that so many people are focusing on the wheelchair part of this just proves that they just don't get it. The ones of pure mind and pure soul get it. But these fucking semen demons out here, they don't get it. But not all semen demons. The amount of people in comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me. They call them creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money. Ah, thank you, a sane person. Hopefully the replies aren't full of people calling her a pick-me. Pick-me alert. Least obvious pick-me. Me, pick me please. Hope he picks you, sis. Pick me, pick me, pick me. An incel could have written this. Fuck. Why are so many VTubers either pick-me's or racist? You mean why do so many female VTubers disagree with you? Why so many aren't towing the mainstream liberal feminist NPC line? Because they can. See, the most powerful weapon—
Yeah, this is something I've been thinking about a lot, is how for a long time it was all of this bullshit directed on the side of, you know, leftists and progressive ideology. And now it's starting to shift a little bit to the right. And I don't think it's any better or any more helpful for people than the leftist shit was. And yeah, I think it's all a bad thing, bro. This isn't none of this shit's gonna end well, honestly. I think we're cooked as a society, bro. I really fucking do. It's unfortunate. I don't want it to be this way, but you know, I'm just saying it how it is, man. And I think it comes down to there's some people at the top trying to divide and conquer all the peasants so that we're easier to control and so that we don't see that, you know, what's actually going on. How we're probably going to be pulled into bullshit wars and how we're moving towards a mass surveillance state in the United States, much like communist China, and all these real issues. It's just about men hating women, blacks hating whites, and all this bullshit that really doesn't matter.
Women have against other women is social ostracization. You don't want to be seen as a pick-me or a racist, so you keep your mouth shut in order to survive in female social circles. But in the cases of VTubers, virtual YouTubers, they're basically anonymous. They can say anything they want. They're basically wearing a mask. They're free from the chains of the eternal HR Longhouse. But apparently even being anonymous online does not save them because they still get doxxed for simply not hating men. Lovely. Maybe I should save this rant for a different video someday. Moving on. Men are why we can't have nice things, by the way. First of all, men make all the things. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also, I just realized it was a man saying that. It was a whole-ass man saying men are why we can't have nice things. I don't deserve this trophy. This is for you, sir.
It's one of those sneaky fuckers in the wilderness, you know, trying to get close enough to a woman so we can grab her and fuck her. These are the real rapists of the world.
This is for you. I'm not worthy. Listen, I make women jokes. I'm very critical of feminism and propaganda aimed at women. But you will never catch me in a million years saying some shit like women are why we can't have nice things. I have a mom. I have female family members. I have female friends. Maybe one day I'll have a daughter. Women make the world a beautiful place and, like men, can be flawed and deserve criticism. Like,
Yep, there's good people on both sides, you know. All women aren't terrible and all men aren't terrible, but many are on both sides. You know, there's terrible people on both sides and there's fine people on both sides, you know?
Like anyone else. But there's something genuinely so cucked about people who put down their own gender or race. Oh god, race. Self-hating white people. Don't get me started on self-hating white people. White people are so evil. I hate being white. White people can't dance. White people food is so gross.
Yeah, let's be real though. I mean, white people are great, but there's also a lot of annoying things I don't like about white people. For example, why is it always a white dude that's watching his wife get fucking fucked from the back, dude? What's wrong with white people? Why do you guys want to see that? I wouldn't want to see my wife getting like BBC in her, bro. That's disgusting. I would grab my strap, bro, and, you know, kill that. Anyway. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of things that are annoying about white people. I think it's fun to make fun of white people, but I also like to make fun of the blacks, you know, because they're stupid monkeys who, you know, make terrible music that's bad for their own people, and they shoot each other, and, you know, every race has their downsides. I mean, the only race you really can't say too much bad about is Jewish people, because let's be real, they support each other, but they just hate everybody else. And they will use everybody else for their own ends. They're very Machiavellian. Not every single Jewish person and not every single black person is violent, you know, but these are generalities. It is fun to be racist, okay? Let's be real. Racism is fun. White people can't dance, and they like watching their wife get fucked for some reason. It's disgusting. And a lot of white dudes are kind of like just dicks the way they talk. It's rude for no reason. but it's passive aggressive because white people can't fight. I mean, some of us can, but a lot can't, you know? It's terrible, bro. I identify as a black man, though, because I'm ginger, and that makes me half black, okay? I'm half ginger, I'm half black, so. Yeah, my pubes are ginger, so I'm a black man.
You're not getting into Wakanda, bro. You're not getting invited to the cookout. Enough. But yeah, women were not the only ones who had a problem with this. There were a lot of men who didn't quite relate to this being the average male fantasy. It's fine to love the disabled. I didn't need to remind you that. But to glorify it? This anime is certainly Marxist propaganda. The movie is about him taking a job as her caretaker, and when he learns of her dreams, he makes it his mission to help her dreams come true. So it is Marxist propaganda to help a disabled person pursue their dreams? Yeah, it's woven in. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Marxism is when girl in wheelchair. I love this. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Every piece of media that makes you feel empathy is communism. Political brain rot. If you're at the point where you see this and you're thinking of communism, you need to log off. You are unwell. I'm sorry, but when I reproduce, I don't want a high probability of my offspring being mentally or physically retarded. We need a better class of incels whose bar is higher than the retarded. She's not retarded, she has a spinal...
Yo, bro, that's a wild thing to say. Just because she can't walk, she's retarded too? Damn, that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. She might be physically disabled, but not mentally. I wouldn't fuck a retarded girl. I mean, well, maybe I would, but... if she looks like the AI Down syndrome bitches on Instagram, I'm just playing. But yeah, man, that's kind of fucked up, dude. These people are what they say you are, man. It's the inverse of Eminem. It's kind of fucked up.
Injury that's not genetic. Also, what is this LARP? I love how everyone is just kind of having like a normal conversation about this clip, and this guy just comes out of nowhere like, I would never put my pure white seed in such a vile creature. Like, you absolutely know this guy has a non-white girlfriend. They all do. All these like I hate white people women always have white boyfriends. All these I hate non-white people boys always have non-white girlfriends. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it too many times. I guarantee you when this man logs off of his Black Sun Roman statue Twitter account, he's clapping Latina booty cheeks. My fantasy is not being a simp, but okay. Fellas, is it simping to love a woman? Nah, this is not the male fantasy. That man is a beta male. If she wasn't in a wheelchair, she would leave him for Chad. Fellas.
People are fucking weirdos, man. This is what I mean when the internet is just a cesspit full of weirdo psychopaths. It is true, man. And I'm one of them, but, you know, I'm just here to troll and to dilute the conversations because it's funny.
Is it beta to love a woman? This is not my fantasy. This is some gay shit, to be honest. Fellas, is it gay to love a woman? What no pussy does to a motherfucker. Brother, I've seen what pussy does to a motherfucker, and it's far worse. The average male fantasy is taking care of their crippled wife. I don't think I've ever had that fantasy before. I thought it was gonna be about going on some quest to kill the dragon to win the princess or something. It is. That is the average male fantasy. But there are no dragons to slay. There are no princesses to save. But there is that little old lady in the grocery store who can't quite reach that top shelf. There's that heavy box the pretty girl you work with can't quite lift herself. There's that jar of tomato sauce your wife can't quite open. There's that Lego set your little son can't quite put together himself. Or there is this...
Listen, I'll be real about something, though. I think all these fantasies are kind of stupid at this point because we live in a world where men don't need women, women don't really need men. It is what it is. Men have porn and OnlyFans and hookers, and women have, romance novels, and they can just get fucked whenever they want. It is what it is. That's really what it comes down to, bro. The sexes don't need each other anymore. Everybody's fully autonomous. You know, you can hire somebody to clean your house. You can order fucking DoorDash. It is what it is, bro. People don't need each other anymore, and so I think relationships have to be deeper than they ever have been for them to really work in the long term, because there's really no societal expectation for men and women to stay together, and there's no reason to, really, objectively. I think it's overall a bad thing, and it's going to lead to more misery in the long run, but I don't think it'll change. And so I do think this shit's kind of corny, but at the same time, I do get why people like a movie like this. But it's not realistic in 2025. Let's be real about it. People are usually together for what they provide to each other, that they don't intrinsically have. And people already have everything they fucking need, and that's the problem.
Paraplegic girl who wants to see the ocean. This is the Princess and the Dragon story. And despite what many are told, men do have a lot of love to give. And they want some kind of excuse or mechanism to show that love. In a world where men expressing themselves is either seen as toxic or gay. And one way of expressing that love is solving problems. Men fucking love solving problems. I don't know what it is. They also love reading Wikipedia articles. The amount of times I walked over and my husband is reading a random fucking Wikipedia article about like the world's tallest buildings or like a random battle in World War II. I didn't know if this was autism or what, but apparently it's a man thing. Anyway, yes, men love solving problems. And in a world that makes them feel useless, makes them feel like they have no purpose, men desperately feel like they need to prove their worth. They are desperately looking for a purpose in life. So it is not at all shocking to me that the modern young man is seeing a clip like this and longing for this. A lot of modern men don't have a chance to prove themselves, to make something of their lives. They don't have a chance to provide anything for anyone because they don't have anything to provide and they don't have anyone. They are doing everything their grandfathers did, but seeing none of the results. They're lost. What can they provide? And as I said earlier, her being in a wheelchair is the protector and provider instinct taken to a extreme. And yes, it is a fantasy, considering if you ask anyone who's actually in a wheelchair, they know it's not all butterflies and rainbows, and they know that it's hard on relationships. It can be difficult on their partner. But just like in the movie, it's not shown as butterflies and rainbows. Josie feels like a burden, but towards the end of the movie, the guy takes on that burden. Not because he gets something in return, but because it's his duty. Because it makes her happy, which makes him happy in return. Loyalty, duty, virtue, acts of service, big or small. Men live for that shit. And yes, these are stereotypes. Not everyone fits in.
Oh yeah, I mean 100% for sure, but I think the problem is it's unlikely to find somebody that shares those kinds of values, you know, because usually in a relationship, the second shit gets hard, the other person's just gonna fucking disappear. It is what it is. That is 2025 dating because of social media and because of all these expectations that people have set in their head based on things they've seen online that aren't realistic. It's sad, and if you can find a relationship like that, then that's better for sure, but it's hard to. Let's be real about it.
Into these boxes, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, it's true. When many men look at this relationship, that is what they see. And a lot of modern women are looking at this relationship and being disgusted because, in a way, it's the complete inverse of the strong, independent woman they've been sold. They've been told they need to be. The modern woman crafted by modern Disney for modern audiences. Unlike the Hollywood-crafted modern woman, this woman does need her man. She is not strong and she's not independent, at least physically. This doesn't mean she's like an empty vessel with no thoughts or freedom. No, in fact, in the movie, Josie does roll away from him a few times. It is a fantasy not because of a power imbalance, but because the man has a tangible purpose, and the woman is willingly and lovingly letting him fulfill that purpose.
Because I can depend on you. I know that if I ever feel frightened, I can just reach out to you.
Men simply want something good to die for, to make it beautiful to live. This manifests in a lot of ways, but the most common is having a loving partner and or a family. Something unobtainable to many people nowadays. So yes, literally one of the most normal things ever is becoming a fantasy. Sad. Also, men will deny this, but they absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your teens or your 20s, but one day you're going to have a dream. You have a little daughter making you pancakes with your wife in the morning, and you're not going to be able to get it out of your head. And that is the male biological clock. Everything you do, the money you make working that grating 9-to-5 job, it will all be for something bigger and more important than yourself one day. You will come home to a warm and happy home, greeted by people who care about you, and love you, and rely on you, and everything will make sense then. Until then, you'll just be on the internet, being called a misogynist, for wanting something bigger and more important than yourself, for wanting something beautiful and normal. And that is the average male fantasy. That and 3 hot chicks at once. Hell yeah, brother. Haha, you know what I'm saying? So that was that little video. Men in the comments, let me know. Am I correct? Is that the average male fantasy? Or is it not that deep? Men and women in the comments, what is your fantasy? And no, I don't mean that. I don't want to hear about how you want to be crushed by a 12-foot futa. That is between you and God, not you and Shoe-on-Head. I mean, what is your ultimate dream? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want a nice big family one day? Do you want to own a farm? Do you want to live in a shed in the woods and make pipe bombs? Let me know in the comments and I will see you soon with a new video.
I mean, based, I think that pretty much sums it up. That's a good video. Check out Shoe-on-Head. I'll link the video in the comment and the description down below. But yeah, I'm going to be posting on here. I don't know if I'm going to be doing it a whole lot, but we shall see. Smash the like button and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to be notified when I drop a video. I'll probably be doing some streams where I maybe game, maybe, you know, just chat shit. Watch videos, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. I think I might start up this channel again. So yeah, stay tuned for that and take care, guys. Peace.